sink again, and it's, don't get me started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some vinegar, put some baking soda. It's better if it can go down the drain. That's what you want. You want it to go down the drain to break all this garbage up. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour a bunch of this baking soda. Hopefully it gets down into the drain a little bit. And then we're going to do the I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. It's an absolute nightmare. There you go. Hopefully it's going to drain a little bit so I can get this stuff in the sink, in the drain, and not in the water. So let's give it a few minutes. What we have so far, you can see that it's kind of trying to drain, and it is and it isn't. I think it's going to go. There's a little air pocket in there. So I just need to get the water out of here. I'm trying to run some warm water in here right now. I've put in probably half a gallon of vinegar and a ton of baking soda, but it's not really doing. You can see I drain most of the sink into the right side, and it is kind of leaking through, but I need this to go all the way down. I need it to open up, which it's doing. You can see it's definitely doing. It's definitely draining. And then after I get this thing drained, then I'm going to pour the baking soda and more vinegar into the drain, but I need it to get into the drain. I don't know that this is going to open it. There it goes. There it goes. That's the bubble. That's the bubble. It's going to drain in another minute or so. I've done this on the sink about 5 times. My mom is, I have a strainer. You can see the strainer, but she takes all the junk from the strainer, pours it in the sink, and she puts wax down the drain, and it's a nightmare. I'm not happy. They want you to use the baking soda. They say Dawn dish soap. I think that's to lubricate the pipe. The baking soda and the vinegar is the chemical reaction, and they want you to put hot water in there, probably to stir things up a little bit and maybe dissolve some of the grease and gunk that's in the pipe. I've already got a call into the plumber because I'm not going to deal with this. My mom does this constantly, and let her pay to get this thing fixed. I'm a little burned out with this whole thing, this caregiving nightmare. So I'd love to put some hot water in there, but I don't know that I want to. Put the Dawn soap in there. It's not going to do anything. It's really good for the toilet because it kind of lubes up your pipe and makes the toilet paper and the pooper might drain a little easier. But I've got the soap in there. I've already put a ton of vinegar in there. I've put a lot of baking soda. So what I'm going to do now, which is really good, it's good for a toilet. You got to be careful with a toilet because you could ruin your wax ring, or you could crack the toilet. But I'm putting boiling hot water down the drain. It's boiling right now, and we're gonna see if it does anything. The advantage of the hot water is it kind of melts the grease. Now I don't know how far down this is plugged up. This is probably plugged like 30-40 feet down, but the right sink drains perfectly. The left sink with the disposal does not drain, but yeah, it doesn't drain. Water goes down, kind of, but nothing is really moving. It bubbles a little bit. We're almost ready for the hot water, so when the water's boiling, I'll come back, and we'll see if this is going to work. Okay, the water's almost boiled, or boiling. My mom's a believer that you turn on cold water when you turn on the disposal, and I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm a believer in you turn on hot water, because hot water makes sure that the fat and all the gunk maybe dissolves or breaks down and goes all the way down the pipe, but when you put cold water down the pipe, all that stuff, fat, when you put cold water on fat, it kind of gels up. So let's get the hot water right now. It's ready to boil, so let's see, is this going to do any good? I wish I had more baking soda. At this point, just use what you've got. It's really inexpensive. So let's see if I can get the hot water and all this stuff to break whatever's going on, and drain this pipe. If not, I'm just going to stop. You know, you can be a caregiver, but it's an absolute nightmare. If you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I came home a couple hours ago, the sink was fine. Then I came back a couple hours later and the sink was plugged up. Absolutely no reason for it to be plugged up. Asked her what she put down the drain. She said, I don't know. I said, you must have put something down the drain. What did you put down the drain? I don't know. So there you go. Alright, I just put down one more batch of baking soda, and we're gonna put down a gallon of. We're going to make sure this is going to be 2 gallons of... There you go. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't be dealing with this. I'm done. That's enough. I was going to pour down the rest of the bottle, but I'm done. So, let's wait a little while. We'll see what happens. This is on. You can see. It's just doing absolutely nothing. This whole thing should have drained. Like I said, the other sink. This sink drained with no problem. This sink, maybe the disposal's broken. I don't think so. Maybe it's completely clogged up with grease and dirt. The vinegar should have taken care of that. The baking soda, the hot water. I'm screwed in the tube.